Hey, it's Kish,
And it's Roland here.
and we are from Porygon Tube, and we're here with the junior final from the Bendigo League Cup in Victoria, Australia. So in this round, we'll be featuring Sam on the right, playing Espeon Garbodor, which he took to a regionals win last week in Sydney, versus Harry on the left, playing his Espeon Lunala deck. So Lunala, not a card that we've seen too often, but obviously has served Harry really well throughout the day. He's into the finals. So Roland, what are your thoughts here?
I love Lunala. I think it's a cool card. Kish and I, we tried to make Lunala work, I suppose in the last season. And, it's an interesting deck. Haven't really tried it sort of with the new set. It'll be interesting to see what he plays with Lunala. Because, of course, it's a good sort of setup card. Well, not so much setup, but it's a good sort of support card, obviously, because you can move around all your Psychic Energy, you can use Max Potion. The question is, what do you play with? And that's the hardest question to answer for anyone building a deck with Lunala, because it's not clear cut. Lunala is an okay attacker, but it's not necessarily going to get the job done on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and possibly, it has the ability to survive basically anything with Espeon Garbodor. 250 HP is nuts, really.
And it's weak to Dark as well. It's not weak to Psychic, so that's common misconception there. So Sam won't have the advantage of hitting for weakness, so it is very tanky at 250 hit points.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see a Jirachi there in the active. Probably most people wouldn't know what that does, but for a Psychic Energy, you can search your deck for any card and put it into your hand. So it's a nice little setup card. And of course, with Lunala, you can move the energy off it if it doesn't get knocked out. So yeah, just grabbing an Eevee here. So he does play Espeon himself.
Yep. Okay, so he triggers Energy Evolution, so that's really nice. He gets his Espeon out. First turn of the game. And let's see what else he has. He just has to pass, I think. Yep. So on to Sam.
Yeah, so sort of from his first turn, he probably would have liked a Cosmog, but unfortunately couldn't get that out. See a level ball.
Okay, so Sam going for his own Espeon here. The Espeon Wars are about to begin. Espeon, of course, sits for weakness on itself, so who wants to swing first? That'll be pretty interesting. So Sam does also get his own Espeon GX out.
Yeah, so Sam, even if he can attack this turn, he might choose not to, because you don't want to put that, as you alluded to, you don't want to put the Espeon out in harm's way, because it's really sort of a first mover disadvantage generally, attacking Espeon versus Espeon, because of course it can knock itself out in one hit, whereas Espeon, against things with no energy on them, it's not really an efficient attacker. I think Jirachi, I believe it has 70 HP, we can't quite see here. I believe it does, so I don't think he'll be able to knock it out in one hit, even if he does get like a DCE.
Yeah.
But so he probably doesn't want to attack into this Jirachi until he can find something like a Lysander and then bring out the opposing Espeon, possibly, or wait for it to come out itself. So it just passes there.
And just reading what that Jirachi does. Okay, so Harry gets a double colorless, and he does pass.
Okay, just passes there. Yep.
So, unfortunately, doesn't have any supporter going, and Sam sort of correctly identifying that Espeon versus Espeon is always going to result in one-hit KOs, so he goes for a second Espeon here, and that's really strong, having two Espeons to your opponent's one.
Yeah, absolutely, and once we see sort of set up more fully developed, then Garbodor becomes an extremely potent attacker against Espeon. So for just five items in the discard pile, or 4 in a choice band will be a knockout. But okay, so see, evolution to Garbodor. He can evolve now. It's a second turn. So just deciding which one he wants to evolve. Probably wants to evolve the bench just because, well, just in case the active gets knocked out.
Yeah.
Or it also allows him to retreat for a double colors. Not ideal, but Garbodor has 3 retreat, whereas Trubbish has 2. So there's consideration.
Yeah.
But probably not going to be doing anything too eventful this turn.
No.
Will Sam?
He does have another Eevee in hand, so.
Three of the kind. Yeah.
He could potentially put that down to evolve next turn or at some point in the future. Probably Ultra Balling to see if Espeon's actually in the deck.
Of course, you never really want to get out EV without the corresponding Espeon, of course. But so you've always got to check. Generally these lists play like 3 Espeon. And of course he's got 2 out. If one's prized, then clearly he's not going to be able to get out a third until he gets out his prizes or super odds, something back. But okay, interesting. Goes for a Shaman. I wonder what he's digging for actually.
There's not too much else you could want in this position. Maybe a double colorless for next turn, but discarding Delinquent and Lysander there. Not too bad because you'll have access to those with Seeker throughout the game. So
Yeah, if anything, you'd want them in the discard. The only one that you might not is Delinquent, because you might want to surprise your opponent. See, sometimes you actually want Delinquent in the deck just so your opponent, because people don't necessarily know that you play Delinquent, or they might forget, that Delinquent's really a thing, and they might play their hand down to 3 or less, and then you can just nail them with a surprise one. But yeah, I think ultimately it's not a bad thing to have it in the discard pile. Okay, so you see it, Psychic on Jirachi, and Energy Retrieval. Interesting. I can't see heaps, but there you go. So
Harry retreats to Jirachi, so he's risking his Espeon there. He could have used Make-A-Wish with Jirachi and searched his deck for a supporter for next turn. That would have been good, I think. Instead, going aggressive and takes the first prize on the Trubbish. So Sam does have the double colorless. Okay, so that's going to be a knockout with Psychic.
Yeah, but at what cost, guys? Because I suppose we're going to see a return KO here from Sam.
Yeah, so Sam going to be doing 300 damage, taking a knockout. And he's got his full setup, but he doesn't have a draw supporter for next turn, but he's under no immediate pressure, so he'll have time to draw out of this. He does bench the Eevee. I possibly would have liked to see him leave that spot open in the future, in case he can Shaman or Tapu Lele for a supporter. But benching the Eevee is probably not going to matter too much here. And he does just Psychic for the knockout. And Espeon has been removed from the field.
It has. And so just getting confirmation here, Jirachi is weak to Psychic, so although it does have 70 HP, a Psychic, the attack name from Espeon, will knock it out in one hit. So, okay, but it does get out an Eevee with a Psychic Energy, so we'll get out another Espeon, so not out of the game yet.
But Sam does have a Lysander, but he doesn't have a Choice Band or anything to be able to take a one-hit KO. Ooh, Harry going for the Confusion with Psybeam here.
And Confusion, probably the most annoying status effect in the game. With say Sleep, you know you're asleep, you've already flipped tails. With Confusion, you don't know what the outcome's going to be until you roll the dice. So, often players, you'll just see them play conservatively and just retreat or choose not to attack in some cases. But yeah, we'll see what Sam has here. It's interesting, because of course he does need that Choice Band in order to get a knockout with Psychic. So if he does have a Choice Band, does he just attach it to the active and let it rip, knowing that it could very well go down next turn? But no, actually just decides to attach a Psychic Energy to Eevee. So I think just resigning to, if he is going to attack, even if he flips heads on Confusion, he's not going to get a knockout with Psychic. Or possibly he might retreat and use Psychic himself. Use Confuse Ray himself with another Espeon. That's of course an option he has. Espeon does only have one retreat, so it's not too burdensome to retreat between Espeons.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it looks like Sam doesn't have access to his third Espeon, so a little bit of a misstep there. Attaching the energy to Eevee and not getting the benefit of energy evolution. Of course, he could have just attached the Psychic to the Espeon on the bench, but he's just going to Sycamore here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he could have he might know that, eventually I can get out another eventually I can Super Road back an Espeon or get it off the prizes, so I might want to power up this Eevee so that when I do get an Espeon, I can power it up, but I think he probably thought that he had the Espeon in his deck, but yeah, interesting that also, I suppose, because Garbodor's not going to be too useful at the moment, but okay, gets Altar of the Moon. Okay, so now I can retrieve for free. That's really handy, to get out of Confusion. So it's like a switching card, really, but he can get more mileage out of it, but it's actually going to be useful for Lunala decks, obviously, as well, to get that. I'm sure he actually plays that in his deck, but yeah.
Okay, so we see the return Confusion come down from Sam.
Confusion versus Confusion, and there is no other Espeon on the other side, so he can't do the same play that Sam did.
Well, he could.
Actually, no, sorry, of course he could.
Yes. Retreat.
Of course he could. What am I talking about? Hey, yeah, Espeons can come out of nowhere.
Yeah, so Harry goes for the Confusion and flips heads, so he does the 60 damage, but if Sam can just retreat here, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's just going to Psychic for the knockout, and Harry's board is looking pretty grim at this point.
I don't know, that Jirachi's looking pretty promising.
Yeah. Although Harry can force Sam to play the 7-prize game with the Jirachi.
Yep, absolutely. He can certainly do that. We see Sam power up a Garbodor as well. Just, again, probably not going to be too impactful, but you never know.
Okay, so what can Harry do here? He drops a Meloetta, which is a really interesting card to see. I don't think I've seen that in a long time, that Meloetta EX.
No, I don't think it's Meloetta or EX.
Oh, it's just the Meloetta from Generations. I
Yeah,
apologize.
that Meloetta, the round one, I think that's rotated. You're living in the past.
I'm living in the past.
Round, what a deck.
What a deck. So he does get a Cosmog down. Finally.
Okay, so yeah, finally gets one down. So I mean, it's conceivable that he makes a huge comeback. That Harry makes a big comeback with Lunala because 250 HP, nothing from Sam's side can really knock it out. If it could just, I mean, he needs a lot of energy on it, but if he could somehow get all of that, Lunafall, the GX attack, and 1-hit KO a Shaman on the bench, it's possible. And Lunala's going to 1-hit KO Espeon, so anything's possible.
Yeah,
anything's possible.
The only thing going against Harry is that he's only got one. Oh, so we see a Divide GX come down from Sam.
Ouch. Yeah, that's
Oh, and he chooses to knock out the Jirachi. Possibly would have liked to see him take out the Cosmog there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Cosmog's really Harry's only way of winning. Probably would have been better to knock that out, but it's going to take a lot of cards here from Harry.
Yeah. What I was going to say is that the only thing going against Harry in that Lunala plan is that he has no energy on board for Lunala to attack with. The Lunala's got a very, very pricey attack, 4 psychic energies to do 120 damage. That's a very costly attack, so you need the energy on board. And Harry just doesn't have anything at the moment. He evolves to Cosmom and is just forced to pass. And Sam gonna Psychic there, I think.
Yep. I'm not sure
that wouldn't have been a knockout.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a knockout because Cosmog isn't. Cosmeme is not actually weak to Psychic, in the same way that Lunala is.
Actually.
Oh, maybe
Cosmom is weak to Psychic,
no,
so it is a knockout, yes.
That is the correct... we got duped there.
The pre-evolutions are weak to Psychic, but the Lunala is weak to Dark.
Yeah, and then how crazy is that? And then Solgaleo is weak to Fire. The whole line is just weak to... is weak to totally different things.
It's total confusion here with Psychic.
Yes, it is.
We got confused, Raid. So Sam takes a quick game 1 there. So we'll be going into a game 2, and we'll see if Harry can get out his Lunala. That's really going to be the key for this matchup, isn't it? If he can get the Lunala and the requisite 4 energy, he can potentially, as you said, just run through Sam's board.
Yeah, I mean, it's so scary once it gets set up, because of course Espeon, weak to Psychic. And Lunala's, otherwise it only does 120 damage, so it's not necessarily the most efficient attacker when you can't Lunafall for big knockouts. Because, of course, Lunafall can't knock out GXs, which, is a bit of an annoying sort of restriction, which probably wasn't as big when it came out. But, of course, nowadays, GXs are just everywhere. So, basic GXs, so... but obviously when you're weak to Psychic, then it's 120 damage attack, just going to completely just storm through everything. Yeah. And if it doesn't seem like Harry plays too many items in his list, so Garbodor's probably not going to be too impactful either. So it could really just run trade.
So potentially Harry could leave his Espeon sitting on the bench for a while just to build up the energy so he can Psychic transfer with Lunala. Rather, because he's not really going to go well against Sam, who's playing Espeon GX, because Sam plays double colorless, whereas I don't think Harry would be playing double colorless.
I think I saw a double colorless in his... he does play double colorless, I believe.
He does?
Yeah. But probably not as many, because surely Sam would play 4 double colorless. That's the standard in Espeon Garb. Whereas, I don't think Harry would play 4. Yeah, so, I mean, it's not... quite as efficient in terms of just attacking with Espeon, but and I think really he just wants to sit behind Jirachi or something like that, and just build up energy, stall for a bit, because of course Espeon Garb, it's not that aggressive a deck really. But we see Sam going first, which is interesting.
So Harry choosing to go second.
Oh, actually interesting. Sam plays a second Shaman in his list. So attaching the double colors to Shaman so that he could Sky Return on the following turn, or use it to retreat alternatively, but he'll probably will choose to Psychic Return. Sorry, Sky Return.
So we've seen Shaman really drop off in play a little bit. Most decks playing 1 or none. I really think it's still a very good card. Drawing cards and still being able to play a supporter is huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
So passes over to Harry. So Harry can use Soprano Wave with Meloetta. That attack flips 3 coins, 10 damage for each heads for 1 Psyche energy, but unfortunately doesn't have any energy, so just has to pass back to Sam. And
yeah, I mean, even if he had energy, I probably wouldn't even want to commit it to the Meloetta.
So, Sam gonna Tapu Lele, Wonder Tag, grab a Sycamore, refresh his hand.
Yeah, so probably we'll just see a Sky Return this turn, because, I mean, he could Psychic, but that's not really going to... Well, it's going to do, well, I suppose 60 damage because of weakness, but there's still not going to be a knockout, so you may as well Sky Return here. Get Shaman off the board, get a double Colors into your hand.
Well, if he Psychics here and Harry doesn't get anything, then Sam could potentially Divide GX the remaining damage for the win next turn.
That is true, he could do that. But I think, if Harry doesn't set up, then I suppose he's already in a really good position anyway. Like, I'd probably rather see him play conservatively, but... look, I suppose finishing off the game quickly, never a bad thing. But, just does decide to Sky Return.
So Harry does draw an energy. So let's see, does he have a Cosmom? He does, which is very nice for him. So, would really... unfortunately, doesn't have any more Pokemon that he could send up to take a hit next turn.
Yeah, no, that's... Yeah, it is unfortunate. No supporters from Harry's side.
Yeah.
That's, kind of... Yeah, unfortunate to see there.
So a Divide GX would be very bad for Harry right here.
It would, absolutely. So that's something that Sam can do. So he can just knock out that Cosmeme, just guaranteed. But just looks like he's going to Psychic for the knockout.
Yeah, so potential opening for Harry here. If he can buy himself a turn to get some energy on. So he does play the double colorless. Okay, so he does get the Lunala out. So things could get interesting here. Especially if Harry plays Max Potion and things.
Definitely. He needs more basics, though, just so he can... Things that he can move the energy to. So, I think Harry intelligently not putting the double colors on there because, there's no point really putting a double colors on Lunala because it's just going to feel Psychic from Espeon and you can't move it. So, yeah. So, speaking of Psychic, that's the attack. That's... Oh, no, he's going to... Oh, no, he chose to Divide.
Yeah, he's Divide.
He could have done 120 damage with Psychic.
Yeah.
Because, of course, he had the Choice Band, whereas Choice Band doesn't add damage to Divide. But
yeah.
Okay, so he's used his GX move to do that. Not sure what's...
So...
Okay, so yeah, Harry's turn. And, yeah, just draws an energy.
So, unfortunately, I think Sam's going to take down this game here. He can just Psychic for the remaining damage with that extra energy.
That's going to do enough. Yeah, so that should do 150 damage with the Choice Band.
Yep, so just calculating here, and that will be a knockout for 250. And that's going to be the game.
That's the game.
So, congratulations to Sam for winning the League Cup in the junior division. And Harry as well did really well on the day to get to this position. So, congratulations to both players. And thanks for watching, guys. Always nice to have some juniors on, see some games, and... Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next round. Thanks. Bye.